Hope everyone is well. It's Jazz. It's the West Ham Irons channel. Again, something came to the back of my mind on the back of the video that you guys will be watching kind of this morning. It's very late live, but just wanted to get a couple of videos out. Very busy day tomorrow. So yeah, wanted to talk about the system that we're using at the moment and one that I think could work in terms of, well, if David Moyes sticks around, helping him immediately to resolve it, even though I don't think he's going to change anything. But certainly the new arriving manager could look at in terms of a temporary fix to rescue our season, really. So David could use it, but he's very stubborn. I don't think he's going to. So at the moment, we're doing 4-2-3-1 at the moment. The issue we've got, as I've highlighted in a lot of my previous videos, is that our fullbacks are rubbish. Cressy, well, Kehrer at the moment, trying to make him into fullback. Kufal, I think he's on the way out. Form's kind of been not so good as when he first arrived. Johnson, form's on the floor, mismanaged, all over the place in terms of what position he starts at. So it's just all over the place, really. Ashby, we want to leave the club. David Moyes won't play him. I don't know what's going on there. So I think flat back four doesn't suit West Ham at the moment. And the more we play it, the more it just looks silly. And then we do things like the 3-4 that sit in front of the back four. They're obviously told to sit back to help the weak fullbacks, double up on them, help them. Crazy. So the fullbacks are lazy. They've got immediately midfielder ahead of them doing all their work for them, especially in Cresswell's case. Cresswell takes the odd free kick, odd corner, doesn't do anything. And he's quite spoiled because people like Fornals are constantly doing all their work for them. So Cresswell doesn't get exposed one-to-one because he'll get done. So he just tucks in next to centre-backs. And Fornals is like a left-back, really, when he plays. So it's those kind of things David Moyes does. He kind of patches up the formation and it just doesn't, it's not fluid. The two CDMs, that doesn't work. Wright is very good, but Souček, again, because the whole team's defensive, he just gets patched over, really. I know Souček's been okay recently, but doesn't offer enough for me. And I don't even think that kind of formation setup needs two CDMs, really, to be honest. I'm not sure about that. I know Brazil played with one CDM, but that's obviously Brazil is different. And then continuously playing players out of form up front, like Bowen and people like that, it just doesn't work for me, really. So I think 4-2-3-1, not for me. 3-4-3, I think we've got to consider if David wants to rescue his job. It's one of the few things that could help him. So I'm just going to share my screen and go through why I think 3-4-3 will help Moyes. And if the new manager arrives, it'll help him until he fixes the situation, which will make this system very good. And I'll talk about it because we'll need one or two windows for that, really. So let's have a look at it. So yeah, so when you look at this system, I'm saying Areola starts in goal, right? That's with every system, right? You got him in, he's in the French squad, but because you haven't played him or used him, he's not really been able to perhaps start in the World Cup like he could have. So Areola would be the first one, obviously, in for me. Fabianski's coming to an end. There's no point carrying on with him. It's not the future. I mean, the one thing he'll tell you is if Areola is a real deal, right, while Fabianski's at the club. Let's get that clear then, right? There's no point Fabianski retiring next season. You've never really tested Areola, and then he's at the deep end week in, week out, and it could go either way, and then you haven't got plan to. So David Moyes, again, another example of mismanagement, right? Right, the reason for the three at the back is that we haven't got a pairing of two good centre-backs, in my view, who actually complement each other in terms of left-footed, right-footed, both pacey, both good. By that, I mean that we're obviously haven't been able to play Agard and Zuma together, which was the plan, right? And Zuma has got an operation. I don't know how long he's going to be away for. He still hasn't captured the form he had when he first arrived. I don't know what's happened since the cat situation. Perhaps it's affecting him. I don't know. Lost his space. Obviously, he lost his not the World Cup for France, which is a shame. I think he's a great striker. People are really good can be there. Why can't him? You know, they're neck and neck at Chelsea, but yeah, he joined West Ham. He played for David Moyes. All goes downhill. Anyway, Agard looks good. What I've seen of him looks good. I just need to be a little bit more convinced in terms of what he's like in the air. I think I just want to watch a bit of him, what he's like in the air, and then we'll see how he settles in, really. But so far, so good. World Cup first game, clean sheet, looks good. So Agard was predominantly brought in because he's left-footed. Zuma's right-footed. Nice complement each other there, really, and both French-speaking actually. So that's even more excellent. And what I've seen of Agard in the conference has been really, really good. The way he's marshaled the back three, very good on the floor, a bit like Tony Gale, likes to, very comfortable with the ball at his feet, pacey, a bit of a captain material, pointing your fingers out, looks good. But we have not been able to utilise that, and either one's injured or the other one, and Dawson and Kehrer and people like that, it just ain't going to happen with two at the back. We got crap fullbacks, and without Agard and Zuma together, the pairing in the middle is dodgy for me, and that's why the back four ain't going to work. This is good. It worked for Moyes when he came in. We were poor at the back, and yeah, if you got less than average centre backs and three at the back, they help each other, cover for each other. I think Kehrer, this is a one last situation it could help him. I know it's early days for him, but flat back four doesn't work for him, and he could have a future on the right side of the three at the back, right? So that kind of means that we more or less nearly got the players already at the club. I know we spent a lot of money, so the board will be happy. Areola's ready at the club. Agard's getting fit, should be able to start when he comes back, hopefully, if he comes with a World Cup unscathed. Zuma will hopefully get back sooner or later. He's got the operation February, I don't know. If Zuma's not going to start, obviously Boxing Day doesn't look like it, then Agard will start in the middle, Kehrer on the right, and then I don't know if Dawson's there or perhaps that boy at Brazil's going to come in soon. But we should be able to rustle up three centre backs, or even Johnson can help. But as long as there's three of them, they should be able to cover each other. So that's kind of what I'm looking at from that end. If you've got three across the middle centre backs and you've got wing backs, I don't think you need two CDMs, right? So what I'm looking at is that Rice at the moment is good enough to do two people's jobs. He more or less does it a lot of the time at the moment. So Rice would be on his own in the middle, but obviously he's got three centre backs behind him and then wing backs. And so those five are all defenders, and Rice, that's enough. That's six of them. That's enough, right? Rice, the two wing backs, three centre backs, not counting the goalkeeper, that's six of you already there. That's enough. There's no need to overkill the situation and play Souček with Rice in the middle or play Downs with him. I just want to try this and see how it goes, right? This is the thing. I don't think we've got left wing back or right wing back at the club good enough. So next transfer window, what we really need to do is bring in more leaders on the pitch, more aggressive people, more people who won things like 29, 28-year-olds, a bit of young Milner, people like that. So we need to look for a left wing back, right wing back. If it's going to take us perhaps till the summer to get that, then I think I would consider using Cornet as a left wing back. He certainly played as a left back before joining Burnley. I've seen him. He's got the engine in him. He's fine, right? He's a bit of a Trevor Sinclair, a poorer Trevor Sinclair, because Trevor Sinclair was brilliant for us, but I can see a little bit of that. He's creative. He's a nuisance. He can bomb up and down. He had that link with Scamacca. So I think Cornet, stopgap, could do that role quite well. The right wing back, actually, if Cornet, obviously in my team situation, he's further up the field, and perhaps Emerson can fill in for a few months. I think that should be fine. And then on the right side, I suppose if Dawson stays or we bring another one in, then perhaps Kehrer could go to the right wing back try in there. So we've got a few options, but we certainly, I think, in this January window, we need to bring in one fullback stroke wing back at a minimum to help out. We don't have the quality. I think Kafal's on the way out, that kind of thing. So that's what we need. And I think these wing backs are going to be very, very important. They're going to have to be young, pacey, mobile. and definitely act as the wingers. And then if we're struggling, go back and we've got 5 across the middle. So defensively, with the wing backs, with Rice, with the 3 centre backs and Areola, I think defensively that's fine. We don't need to overkill it by playing 2 CDMs, right? Paqueta, let's give him that role ahead of Rice. Free role, number 10, go out, go wherever you want, give him the ball at every opportunity. If he can't perform that role, then try Benrahma in it, or go out in the market and get the right one, right? So I think if Paqueta can play that role for Brazil, more or less, then we should be able to get that out of him. The problem I've got is I don't want him going back, winning the ball defensively. I think we've got enough defenders in the team to do that. Just leave him up front and give him the ball, and I want to see a bit of magic. If he loses it a couple of times, I don't mind. Go a few dribbles, try a few things. That's what I want from him, really. The 3 up front have to be close to Scamacca. So I think with Bowen being largely out of form and not really doing much for me, really bad finishing and things like that, just try Antonio in there. You know, they look good together. And again, Antonio hasn't got that natural instinct to go into the area and perhaps get in the way of Scamacca. Antonio's naturally is a winger, so he'll stay in the wing, hopefully. And that's what he does when he's playing up front, which is getting on our nerves, isn't it, before Scamacca. So Scamacca can focus on being in the middle, but knowing that Antonio's going to run into the box, help me out, set me up. And Cornet will help. If Cornet has to play left wing back with Emerson or sometimes, then yeah, you could try Fornals in this stopgap. But looking at it, I think if everyone's fully fit, then we'll see. Let's see how Kehrer does, or get an improvement on him. Get 2 wing backs, the front 3, because Bowen hopefully get his form back. He can replace Antonio, and I think we're okay for the next couple of windows. You know, with Antonio, Fornals, Scamacca, Cornet, and then Paqueta and Benrahma can fight for that number 10 role. Rice down, Souček for that role. I think it looks good. We've got enough defenders in there without overkill. It allows our number 10 to express themselves without having to worry to defend all the time. And when you've got good, agile, athletic, strong, physical, box-to-box, good engine wing backs, then yeah, none of the forwards have to worry about that. I don't want even Antonio Cornet worrying too much about covering up for wing backs. I really want a game of 2 halves. I want our defenders to be good enough to just defend without needing any more help. And I want the attackers to go and attack without worrying too much or looking back. Obviously, there will be situations when you do need to look at all those things. But largely, I want West Ham to be West Ham, to go out there, express themselves. But then, yeah, don't be silly like Pellegrini, Bilic, leave it all open at the back either. Just keep an eye on that. And I think this formation will kind of ease those worries where perhaps we don't want to look too flary, open, and be weak at the back. This is mixing it up nicely. I think you've got the nice attacking 4, shall I say, of Antonio or Bowen or Scamacca, Cornet, Paqueta. They got Rice marshalling nicely in the middle. And then you got wing backs offering more width. You know, so many times we don't offer width. We're just stuck in the middle, yeah, sideways and sideways. This will give it that zip, that excitement, that flair that you guys want. And at the same time, the good 3 centre backs at the back will be pacey, young, comfortable with the ball on their feet, interchanging brilliantly. So I think, let me know in the comments what you think. I think 3-4-3 is the way to go. Bit too late for David Moyes to do it now, I think, although he did do it when he arrived, but he's just stuck in that thing where he's not going to change much, I think. But certainly for the new manager, if he hasn't got much money in the first couple of windows when he comes, this is something you can experiment in. But at a minimum, we do need to actually, whether it's a loan or a free, we need a couple of wing backs in there. And just keep an eye on Kehrer, see if he adopts into this formation, or it might be time for him not being good enough. But at least we've got Emerson still in there. He's kind of still, you know, can't chalk off Emerson yet. He's not played enough. So Kehrer I'm a bit worried about, but let's try him in his formation. Emerson, Cornet could help out on that left wing back. And might try Fornals at left wing back. I don't know. So yeah, lots of good things. But I think this is one we should consider. We can't carry on the way what we're doing. We've got to change something. And let's give it a go. So put your comments in there. Keep following the channel. Got two channels now. We've got the West Ham Eyes channel, which is obviously this one. Also got the West Ham. Let me just close the screen down a minute. Got the West Ham. Oh, bloody, I have to get my pen again. Got the West Ham News TV channel, which started very, very recently. I will put the link in the description so you can click on it, subscribe to it. It's going to be 2-3 minute small videos for the West Ham News TV. Minimum 1 video a day, maybe more. A mix of breaking, opening, transfer news, gossip, and also a thing called West Ham history, what happened on that day. So whatever day we're in, if it's an interesting thing that's happened in history, then I'll put it out there and it'll help you with your knowledge of the club, things that have happened in the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, all that kind of thing, really. So 2 different channels providing 2 different things, shorter videos, explosive videos, rumors, crazy stories, and then you've got this one which will always be largely live and pre-recorded long videos to discuss all the things that's going on at our club. So take care, subscribe to both the channels. I need your support, and put your comments in and I'll reply to each and all of them. So take care. 343 is the one.